All right, so we've been moving right along. We just completed lesson number 6, and well, guess what? I have a challenge for you folks. I don't know if anybody peeked ahead. Did anybody peek ahead of what a memory verse is? This is one we don't have an excuse. You probably all know this one. So this one should be a memory verse. We should all challenge ourselves to try to get for the end of this lesson, because we probably all pretty much know it by now. But our memory verse for this next lesson, for lesson number 7, is Romans 12, 1 and 2. It may be 2 verses, but they're 2 verses that we're familiar with. So let's go ahead and we'll take a moment. We'll go ahead and, oh goodness. Dan, can you find Romans 12, 1 and 2 and read it for us, please?
I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Excellent. So this is our memory verse for this lesson. And, well, I'll challenge you all and encourage you all to, you probably already know it, possibly already know it, but by the end of this lesson, let's try to get it figured out. And everybody can come up front and look towards the microphone and talk, and they can speak it out nice and loud. And okay, maybe not. All right. So that's one. Lesson number 7 is Surf's Up Old Dude. Man, you'll figure it out eventually what we're going with that, but kind of like the paperclip thing, it won't make a lot of sense until we kind of get to the point where the author pulled up that title. But Surf's Up Old Dude, and I don't know why I'm not an old dude, so it's not talking about me yet. But anyway, turning the corner and getting on track. Turning the corner and getting on track. So our before we go too far, we're going to see as we go through this next lesson, it's kind of a little pause here between parts 2 and 3 of our study, and it's going to be a little bit of a review here as we go through this next lesson. And as we go through this review, we're going to hope to see the big picture, and we're going to kind of talk about the studies of what we've studied so far and how it's impacted people's lives and how it can impact people's lives. And well, as we go into the next study, we're going to take a look at how Joshua and how he finished his journey. We've been talking about about it looking towards eternity, and think about how Joshua finished up his journey in life. So before we go too far to this next lesson, we're going to kind of review a few things. And well, I need a volunteer. Who's a volunteer? Someone to volunteer. It's an easy volunteer, so if you're going to volunteer, now's the time to volunteer. Just give you a little hint. Volunteer. I'll have to pick someone.
I'll do it.
All right. You got your hands full, so what you need to volunteer for, I need someone to get a piece of paper. I'm trying to figure out. We're going to have a little review. I'm going to go back to my last few chapters. I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to keep track. Should we do guys against the girls? Should we do this side against that side? How are we going to do it? Help me out here. Guys against the gals. Okay, guys, we're being challenged. Here we go. And it can be an open book. You can flip through. So who's got the fastest thumbs? Who maybe has an idea where we were talking about it? I might even give a hint where to find it. But anyway, so we're going to have Dan, you're going to need a column of guys against the girls, okay? And we're going to kind of review what we've been talking about in the past a little bit. And then the one that, and we'll probably have to do it in a systematic way. So whoever raises their hand, it would be a guy or a girl, but we'll kind of so we're not all shouting, okay? So whoever's hands I see goes up first. They're the ones that's going to call. And then if they get it wrong or if they don't have an answer, if they're stumped, we'll kind of pass it on maybe to the other. All right, so here we go. For example, we'll just do an easy one. For a point, what is the book after Proverbs? Sethero.
Yeah.
All right, so Dan, the guys get 1 point. Okay, this is all right, guys. We got this. All right, so Dan, you got it. You got to count. You got to count. Guys got 1 point. All right, here we go. This is going to be an easy one too. So in our very first lesson we studied, what was the age someone wanted to revert back to? This is Jen.
4.
4. Hey, it's a tie game, guys. All right, Sethro, he had his hand up there to the guy's credit. Come on, guys, we need more raising hands here other than just Sethro here. Okay. Oh, Sister Jen. She got her hand up. Okay. So we got Sister and Seth. They're got the guys. They're carrying the load so far. So who's carrying the next load? Let's find out. All right. So that's correct. All right. Here we go. I got another sticky note here. Now, although there are many of them, we'll kind of maybe pick a few of them. We had discussed 7 ways culture tries to influence young people's lives. Name one. Janice.
Music?
Music. We can do it. Well, that was one. I mean, that can fall in category. I'm looking for, well, the first chapter, there's 7 of them. There's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So we'll kind of try to go with the ones that are kind of in the book. But that would fall in the category. I'm just not sure which one at the time. So let's try it again. Anybody else? G. Look, Sister Jen got her hand back up.
I'm guessing. G,
Okay.
take the path of least resistance.
Oh, yes, that is one of them. She is on it. Take the path of least resistance. Yes. All right, so there's 7 of them. Now we're going to go, so the girls get another point, Dan. Let's try to get at least 2 more. What are 2 more? 2 more. What? Janet.
A, we've taken away your God.
Yes, yes. Our world today is trying to take away, the culture is trying to take, guys, we're falling behind here. You better get your books out or something.
Pick up the answer guide, we're looking right
Well, that's okay. It's open book. You get
at it. That's cheating.
That's cheap. Well, we're reviewing. So I'm all for reviewing and kind of refreshing people's minds and having a little fun here. So if that's okay, I guess if you want to go for the gusto and be, that's okay too. All right, here we go. All right, guys, one more. We need one more. Seth Rose.
Showing us a bad example of marriage and family.
Yes, that's one thing our culture is doing today. Is it's really, there used to be family was a husband and a wife and children. Now it's been turned around to male, female, and just the family unit has been just broken down according to what is laid out in God's Word. All right. So Dan, where do we sit for a score so far here?
Girls 3, guys 2.
Okay, guys, we're down by 1. So here we go. Does anybody want to, and along our way, we talk about any of this stuff. If anybody has a discussion or something they want to bring up or a point, this is free. This is all discussion time. I'm encouraging discussion here. All right. So here's another one. I got. All right. This is going to be open book. Maybe you're fast on your phone. You might want to pull up your Bible app to search maybe or something. I don't know. But here's the next question. Give a verse that refers to God as a refuge. There's lots of them out there. I don't care if it's as long as it talks as God as a refuge. Seth Rose got his hand up.
Isaiah 30:41.
I'll have to read it. Go ahead and pull it up and read it. So, there's many scriptures out there, but as we go through life, this world is not something that we ought to find a refuge in. We ought to find our refuge in God. What is, let's find a verse that will lay that out. Go ahead. What do you got? Does it have it?
What did you say?
You can read it.
Isaiah 30:41.
What does it say? I'm sure it's a good verse. It came in your mind.
There's not 41.
Okay. John, he had his hand up.
Psalm 91:2.
Psalms 91:2, what does it say?
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust.
All right.
Okay, sorry, it was 40:31, not 31:40.
Okay. You dyslexic or you trying to
Yeah,
transform?
yes.
That's good. All right. So the guys get. Oh, Sister Jen's got one up. Okay, let's see what we got here. We'll get 3. Let's get 3. We got 1. We got 2. We got 1 more. Sister Jen.
Psalm 46:1.
Psalms 46:1. Go ahead. You want to read that for us, please?
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
All right, so as we go through this world, as we go through this culture where this culture is trying to take away God, take away our God, trying to make you think there is no God, we ought to, as God's people, find strength in Him, look to Him, find refuge in Him. That was our 3. I'm sorry.
Oh.
We had Seth, we had John, and we had, so get ready for the next one, because there might be another one here. Hang on, everybody. Okay, there's more to go here. All right. So we're moving right along here. So as we were going along in our study, we were talking about, we had the thought of, I want to be 4 again, which means what? Which means someone doesn't want to grow up, doesn't want to mature, right? That's what that means. So let's see here, who's going to have the hand up first? So let's define maturity according to our study. Okay, yes, Daniel, what did our study, according to our study, what was it to be mature? Go ahead.
Responsible.
Okay, that was half of it. You get half a point. You need there's two parts to it. You got to have both. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to think about it. Got to get both of them. You're half right.
Pleasure.
Actually, I'm sorry. I take that back. He is right. I'm looking at my notes here, and it's the acceptance of responsibility, which he named it, so it's the acceptance of responsibility. So I'm sorry, it's not two parts. I thought there was something else, and responsibility was something else, but you got it. So Daniel, guys, we get another point. So you got the scoreboard. Someone should be sitting next to him, maybe watching that he's not maybe padding the score here a little bit. But okay, so thank you, Dan. You got that. So right now we're moving along, as we talk about as we go through this course of this world, and not wanting to be for again, wanting to stay immature, wanting to stay, not accept responsibility and mature and grow up. Well, I didn't have this down in my thing, but what are some things that maybe this world, this is a bonus question, I didn't have this down. Let's name some things the world might think that makes you mature, but you really aren't. Go ahead, let's name one. Driving, okay, yeah, the world will say, yeah, I got a driver's license. I'm mature now because I got a driver's. That's one of them that we covered. Anybody else? We'll do three. Let's do three. Three's another day.
Points, yes or no?
Huh? You get a point for that one. Yeah. So we'll name three things. What are three things this world tells? Okay, Seth got a hand up.
You have a job?
You have a job? Oh, yeah, I got a job. I'm mature. Okay, and another one. I saw Chris had his hand up. Chris.
Drink
Girls.
alcohol.
Huh?
Drink alcohol.
Oh, yeah, people think, oh, I'm mature. I'm 21 now. I can drink and live it up. So, okay. So ladies, I think you're falling behind a little bit here all of a sudden. So what do we got for a score here? We got
Guys, 6, girls, 4.
girls 4. The ladies are down by 2. So here we go. Let's find another one. So yeah, as we go through life, we got to be responsible, but just simply driving a car, having a job.
Never mind, we have 7.
Huh?
We have 7.
You have 7. Okay. All right. So, but those aren't things that make us responsible. Responsible is accepting responsibility. Accepting responsibility. All right, here we go. All right, okay, this is a good one. This will be for 4 points. Ooh, who's gonna get their hands up first? Oh, Sister Jen, she's gonna take a stab at it. You want to take a stab at it? She's got it.
Jesus saves.
Okay, here we go. This we'll call this one with 4 points. And I don't know if I should have to get them in the right order. Maybe you have to get them in the right order. Okay, in our lesson, our second lesson, here we go. Are we ready? Are we all listening? The second lesson, what are the 4 kinds of people found in Proverbs? Man, who had their hand
She
up
was
first?
up first.
Sister Jen had it. This is 4 points here.
Wise, simple, fool, scorner.
Oh, she got it. So that ties the game up real quick. All right, so good job, ladies. We got a tie game here. This is good. Okay, so we got
Actually,
here.
the girls are winning by 1.
I'm sorry, what?
Girls are winning by 1.
Oh, the girls are ahead by 1. They took the lead by 1. That's good, all right? So we have here the wise, the simple, the fool, and the scorner. What are some characteristics of the wise? What are some thoughts with the wise?
Intelligent.
Okay, they're intelligent. Will a wise person take heed to wise counsel? Yeah, they'll want to learn more, won't they? They'll increase their knowledge. Okay, how about a simple? What about a simple person?
Was that a point?
Well, we're just discussing it.
Okay.
I mean, these aren't really points. We're just kind of discussing it right now, but what are some thoughts or characteristics of the simple? Go ahead, since we're at this spot, that's all. Go ahead.
Silly, naive.
Yeah, they're naive. Now, the simple, I think if I remember right, they can kind of go either way. They're kind of they're in a vulnerable state in the sense that they kind of follow the crowd. They kind of follow maybe, they're easy to convince. But like I say, there's hope for the simple, But all right, now how about for the fool? What are some thoughts about the fool?
Wicked or silly in a perverse way.
There you go, very good. And these aren't points. I'm sorry, guys, these aren't points, but we're just going to discuss this. And you're 100% correct. They talk wrong, they relish wrong, they kind of they live in their sin, they kind of flaunt it out, they kind of show it, and they don't believe sin's even wrong. They just kind of continue in it. They won't listen to people that care about them. They will, you think about a fool, maybe a foolish young one, teenager, whatever. And we can be foolish adults, can't we? It doesn't mean just young, but you can turn around and even though someone cares much about them and it tries to give them good advice, they just don't get it. They won't follow, right? And there's scriptures and Proverbs that talk about a fool that despised his father's instruction, or his mother's instructions, all right? And another thing about a fool, what happens with a fool when you punish him? What happens sometimes with a fool when you don't punish, when they get punished? Does it do anything? They just kind of, it doesn't do anything. They just kind of return right back to it, all right? And then what was another one? We had a scorner, didn't we have a scorner? What is the thought with a scorner?
Scoffer.
Huh?
Scoffer.
Scoffer, they mock God, they literally mock God, they mock his authority. What do they also want to do? What are they trying to do ultimately?
Persuade you to follow their way.
They're out in the they're out trying to recruit people to be as them. They're out to recruit people to be just that, scorners, mock God, so yes, there we go. Good thoughts, good. Okay, so we're going back to a point here now. Here we go. Let me see here. I thought I had, maybe I didn't get to it yet. I must not have got to it yet. I didn't get to it yet. All right, I'm just gonna stick with my notes here. Because, okay, this will be a little, maybe someone's gonna find it. I'm not gonna tell you what chapter it's in, because that will make it too easy. So, I want to know, in our study that we had, in one of the first 6 lessons, what are the 4 common types of folly found in young adults? Daniel had his hand up. The 4 common types of folly found in young adults. We covered it by the book.
Understanding, or no, not sorry, that's the wrong one. It's distraction,
Yes, that's number 1.
fear,
Yep,
bitterness,
yep.
selfish desires.
There we go. You named them all. Okay, there's the point. So where are we at here?
4 points?
Huh?
I should be 4 points.
Yeah,
The last one was
I don't know, man. I got that. I didn't announce it ahead of time, so I'm sorry. It's a point. All right, Dan. So you got it. Yes. Any thoughts about that? Any thoughts about distractions being folly, or selfish desire, or fear, or bitterness? Any thoughts about that? Anybody remember anything about that? Anybody make a comment about that?
Like what draws us away from the Lord?
Yep. Let me see here. Distraction being folly. What would be distraction? What would be a distraction? Pardon me? What?
He said his wife.
Oh, well, you ought to really, it should be God, family, and then, what's the next one?
Jesus, others, yourself.
Yeah, God, others, and yourself. So yeah, you could, if you focus on your wife, she could be a distraction if you focus on her more than God. And think of Solomon, right? What did he do?
Yeah.
That is true, because think of Solomon. That just kind of popped in my head. What did Solomon do that distracted him from serving the Lord? What did he start doing, huh?
He had many wives.
He had many wives, and what did he do for them?
Well, yeah, he,
Build monuments for their
Built-
gods.
Yeah, he built temples, or he built, for his wives. So that would be a distraction, because he didn't focus on God first. So that's true.
Usually a person goes the way of his spouse. Or either him or her, they go the way of their spouse.
Right. But probably not if it's against God's will, I suppose.
It depends on how, I don't know how to put it.
how they influence him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they influence it, depends on how strong they are.
Right. And then,
In their
but
beliefs.
we're just talking too about how, if they do though, it's folly. We're just talking about how ways it could be folly.
Yeah.
Not that it's wrong or right, it just, it's folly, it'd be folly. So, okay, so then Daniel mentioned selfish desire being folly. How can selfish desires be folly?
Because we want what we want, not necessarily what God wants.
Yeah, we kind of tend to do our will and not the will of God. How about folly? Fear. Dan mentioned fear, which was one of them. How can fear be folly?
Pandemic, it's gonna kill us all.
Yeah. How about another one?
Worry. serving God.
Yeah, think of the servants or the stewards and the talents. Remember we talked about the talents, right? What did the one do? What did the one say? Well, one was given 10 or 5. I'm sorry, my brain, I kind of going off script here, so I get myself in trouble when I do that. But anyway, we got the it was given much and then a little less, but then we had one that was given 1 talent. And what did that one do with the 1 talent that he was given? Because he was what?
He buried it.
He was fearful. You know, so if we're in fear, we're not going to be doing what the Lord would have us to do. We need to be aware of that. And then how about bitterness? How can bitterness be folly? How can bitterness be folly?
You're not really looking to the Lord. You're doing what you think is right or whatever.
Yeah, and in
It's
bitterness,
just like when somebody knocked my mailbox down, I was really upset
right?
and angry and I was hoping that they really damaged their car. And then the more I thought about it, I said, that's not right.
You're right. I can associate that because I used this example in class once. I lost an account to someone else, and they drove by, and the back of their truck had a big dent in it because they must have driven into a tree or something. And I was happy for a moment, but I said, "That's bad thinking. That was bitterness." Yeah, and that's very true. Yeah, you get bitterness, and it gets to be like a root, and it gets to growing, and then that what is when something has a good root? What does it do? Naturally does what? It grows, it thrives, it gets bigger, right? So bitterness certainly can be folly. All right. So back to the points. Here we go. This should be hopefully.
Tied game right now.
Huh?
Tied game right now.
Tied game right now. Okay. Well, I'm in control of this. I kind of feel like an official in a basketball game. I can figure out who wins here in this right now.
Basically, we did them in the game.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Are we all ready? What was the number 1 reward we talked about in our study in lesson 4? Janet.
A life of eternal significance.
A life of eternal significance. That's right. That was the first one. Okay. Now, what do you suppose the next question is? Are y'all ready? Here we go. Name the third. Name the third. Show of hand. I shifted it up. Janet's got her hand up. Name the third reward.
Eternal rewards of a faithful steward.
There you go. All right, so we got 2. Okay, guys, there's only 1 left. I hope you guys are paying attention here. What was the second one? Oh, Shell's got her hand up already.
Timeless gifts of a good life.
Timeless gifts of a good life. Yes. All right. Oh, man.
So unfair. She's got a baby. He's got a baby. John is a baby. I got the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. Dan's distracted. Okay, you got it. We got the excuse. So where are we sitting at for a score? Because we still got 5 minutes here. We go here. So we got. So what do we got?
So we got girls have 11, and guys have 8.
Guys have 8. Let's see if we can help them out here. All right. All right.
Melissa, quick, take Jason from Chris so he can have a book.
I have to make one up here. All right. We had a study in we'll call it lesson 4. We had a study that you matter to God. All right. And in you matter to God, there was 3 things that we discussed. And you matter to God. It's 3 points. 3 points. Who's there? Oh, Dan's got his hand up. What do you got here? 3 points in lesson 4 that we discussed about God. You matter to God.
God thinks of you. God thinks good of you. God has developed an awesome plan for your life.
All right. So that's where are we at now?
How many points is that?
That was 3 points.
You're biased.
Say what?
I said you're biased.
No.
Hey, he gave you guys that option too.
All right, where are we at? Where are we at for a game? You know, I'm just basically trying to make it so we all get a participation reward, and we're on tie at the end of the game.
Tied right
now. Oh, so where are we at right now? What do we got?
Tied.
It's a tied game, all right.
You got 11-11.
I got 11 to 11. Okay, here we go. Okay, we had discussed. Let me see here. I had a. Okay. Whose gifts ought to hold the most significance?
God.
You raise your hand. Okay, Janet. Phew. All right, Janet. Any thoughts on that?
They're eternal.
That's right. Okay, speaking of that, I don't know where it's at here. Okay, here's another one. Okay, I'm kind of going off script. I was one I was going to write up, but all right, name. What is the word I'll use here? Okay, yeah, that was it. Name 3. This will take it off a tie here now, guys. So, name 3 intangible gifts. Seth's already got your hand up. Wisdom.
Love.
I'm sorry, what?
You want me to name all 3 of them?
You just gotta have 3. There's many of them, but I mean, we gotta have 3.
Love. That one.
Understanding.
Salvation.
I guess that would be that's an intangible gift. And there's what else? Huh?
Grace. Mercy. Faith. Hope. Love.
Yeah, I mean, you
Children.
can call it, sure, sure, okay. I was looking for 2 also, and we had in there,
Understanding.
favor. Favor, we talked about favor too, but yeah. Okay,
How many points is that?
I don't know, that would be
I just
3.
named like
Where are we at? What's our score now, guys? We got like 1 minute for one more question if it's necessary, but where are we at?
14 to 12. Guys are up.
14 to 12 guys are up. Okay, so we'll have to have a,
This will be a 3.
okay, here's the question. We're gonna have it for 2 points. I'm not gonna tell you where it's at. You're gonna have to find it. You have to dig for it. What 2 gifts? Let me see here. Okay, here we go. God's gifts follow what? Janet.
Maturity and faith.
2 points to the girls. I'm sorry. All right, guys. So God's gifts follow maturity and faith. You have to mature and seek after Him, follow Him, grow up, accept responsibility, and gifts will follow. And now, just because you do that, and again, that's not it's not one of those things where just gift. There are going to be times of trial, times of growth, and that's how we grow. Just like a muscle, how does it grow? How does a muscle grow? Muscle grows through pain. A muscle grows through working, through striving, through perseverance. And as God's people, it's just not going to be life on a silver platter. But as we mature in faith and grow in Him and look to Him and live for Him, we can know and trust that He'll watch over us, reward us, never leave us or forsake us. And even if it doesn't happen and get rewards here on this earth, there's the example of was it Lazarus, or who is it at the king's table? The king got his rewards on the earth, and then what was the second part of it?
The rich man and the beggar.
There you go, the rich man and the beggar. The rich man, he got his rewards here on earth, but you think about eternity. We're thinking about eternity, eternal life, and receiving blessings there, putting our precious stones and gems and putting them at Jesus' feet. All right, good job, guys. So I guess for next week we'll start our next lesson, but just thought we'd kind of turn things up a little bit, kind of have a little fun with it. Hopefully you had fun with it. Oh, Melissa's here. We should ask Melissa a question. Oh wait, the ladies already won, so.
That's actually tied.
Oh, it's tied. Oh, we can put some pressure on 2 people. I can do that. I can pick a guy and a girl and put some pressure on them. I can put Jordan on the spot and Melissa. Here we go, okay? Here's the tiebreaker. Do we want to have a participation award, guys, or do we want to actually have a winner or a loser? It's up to you guys. Show of hands. Here we go. Who wants to have a winner and who wants to have a loser? Do we want to end as a tie? Who wants to end as a tie?
I said we don't wrestle for it.
We're going to arm wrestle for it. Okay. Oh, before lunch, we'll arm wrestle for it. Melissa and Jordan. No. No, we'll just stop there, guys. Great job.
We would still lose.
Oh, shucks. All right, guys. Good job.
Jackson versus Melissa.
So, in closing, I'm going to ask Chris, you want to please lead us in prayer and dismiss